is thinking.
I'm dedicated to it. I can't be stopped.
Oh, I am feeling mighty alive this morning. By the way, it is the morning here in the man cave cuckoo's nest, the arsenal of democracy. And I think Jackson wants to go with his mommy. Jackson's barking over there. But anyhow, welcome back to the Real America's Voice. We just had Jimmy Leotow on, the founder of Jimmy John's Sandwiches. He sold it, and he's spending millions of dollars to increase the health and fortification of wildlife, which is the canary in the coal mine. Jackson, come on, Jackson. Jackson, come on. Jackson. There he is. Look at this guy. He's so adorable. Jackson, what are you doing, buddy? Jackson, come on, buddy. Come on over here. Look at this guy. This is my conservation partner right here. Oh, he's getting so big. If this isn't worth watching, Ted Nugent's Real American Voice, I don't know what is. Look at this guy. Have you ever seen anything more adorable? This is Jackson from the Mossy Pond Lodge in Georgia, who I'm telling you, Jimmy just talked about how he was going through difficult times. I love you, buddy. Go sit with Sadie. See, try not to wreck everything. But anyhow, so what Jackson and my hunting lifestyle, and I was about to touch off a mystical flight of air. Doesn't this feel like a family campfire? Do you feel like you're part of the Nugent family? Except for the people who come on to falsely accuse and hate and lie. They watch me so they can falsely accuse, hate, and lie. And I welcome you, because a lot of them have eventually discovered their conscience, and they realize that if they're a Democrat, a communist, a Marxist, a Black Lives Matter, an Antifa, terrorist, if you think open borders are good for your country, if you think men should beat the living daylights out of a woman in an Olympic boxing match, if you think there should be tampons in the boys' room, if you think that taxpayers should pay to kill babies and the propaganda of public television and public radio, if you believe in that, at some point your conscience should kick in. If you would put the bong down for a minute and maybe replace it with the soul-cleansing zen of the mystical flight of the arrow, learn to aim small, miss small. Oh, baby, I just hit the same hole that I previously created in my target just about 10 feet away. But anyhow, we just had Jimmy on, and he talked about going through a terrible divorce. Is there any other kind? And it pains us deeply especially when we choose a soulmate and it goes bad. I went through that. I think almost everybody does. If you haven't, you're so lucky. So in that emotional treachery of the separation from a heretofore believed soulmate, divorce, one of the worst things we can experience, other than saying goodbye to a loved one, or when we visit a children's hospital and we see these poor little children who have been poisoned by the FDA and the USDA, and the parents are too stupid not to end the chemical warfare on their children. Did you get that? Are you waging chemical warfare on your children, and then you make a donation to St. Jude's Children's Hospital? How about just ending the chemical warfare that Uncle Sam is perpetrating upon us, and quit being a player in creating death and destruction in your children with fire retardant mattresses, toxic carcinogenic chemicals in their baby's bedroom paint walls? I could go on. I do go on. Don't I go on? But anyhow, what Jimmy was talking about, what I've always exalted, the great statement by Fred Bear, that being in the great outdoors, especially as a participant, exercising the most instinctual, pure, reasoning predator, resource steward, conservation ethic, morality, and responsibility of harvesting the surplus to make room for next year's wildlife production while feeding our families the most healthy diet in the world. It's called venison. And as he was going through the heartbreak and the emotion, pain and suffering of divorce, his friend was smart and said, "Hey, Jimmy, you've never done this before, but get a 7 mag. Practice at the range with that Remington ammo and get some rain gear and come on up to Alaska. I will cleanse your soul in the great outdoors, and you will experience, celebrate, and immerse yourself in the spirit of the wild. Jackson is immersing himself in the spirit. He wants a dove. And it's not a songbird, Michigan. It's a picture of a dove on a shotgun shell box. You're liars when you say it's a songbird. Jackson, cut it out. Anyhow, so Jimmy cleansed his soul and he felt a fulfillment. Hi, buddy. It's going to be okay, Mommy. You'll come back later. It's so adorable. He's so adorable. Look at this guy. Don't you feel there's a guitar pick on there? Good boy. You just relax. Daddy will take you out and I'll kill a grackle for you. He fetches grackles like the world's greatest retriever, because I think he might be the world's greatest retriever. Thank you, Brad and Bo and everybody down at the Mossy Pond Lodge in Georgia. What a great hunting dog. But anyhow, I always emphasize, promote, and celebrate. Never defend. There's no reason. There's total waste of time defending the right to keep and bear arms or defending conservation. I promote it and celebrate it. And it changed his life. My mom and dad introduced me to the hunting lifestyle, the purity of hands-on, wise use of renewable resources where we balance those resources to optimize the wildlife habitat. And Jimmy Leoto has spent millions, and I know other guys that have spent tens of millions of dollars, individual guys, for sheep tags and elk tags and moose tags and mountain goat tags and brown bear tags. And the state of Alaska Fish and Game killed, I think it was 91 brown bear from a helicopter. Is that the wise use? Using our tax dollars to kill wildlife, sharpshooters in Michigan, USD hunters across the country. By the way, Scott, I love you. I absolutely adore this guy. The world's greatest hunter, Scott Young. You are my hero. But Jimmy cleansed his soul in the great outdoors. I was able to discover the power of God's miraculous natural healing as a participant in the great outdoors. And I know it's only August, but Joe Arbick's up in Wawa, Ontario, baiting some black bears for me. They have more black bears than ever in recorded history. We're not killing enough of them. And then our tax dollars go out, especially in Colorado. Come on, Colorado. You're not allowed to have a spring bear season, use bait or hounds, but our tax dollars pay a guy to kill bears with bait and hounds year round. It's indecent. It's a great gig, but the system is immoral. So we spend trillions of dollars to hunt, fish, land, seeds from whitetail products gone wild, whitetailproductsgonewild.com. These mad scientists, we got these food plot seeds where I've never seen more deer. This is my 75th deer season. Now, I wasn't paying attention the first 4 or 5 years, but I've been hunting my whole life. I've never seen more deer. And I just got in from checking my stands and filling my feeders and working on food plots. Jim Knapp, thank you. And what Jimmy just articulated, he spends tens of millions of dollars. And it all goes in for wildlife value. And that's where your air, soil, and water quality comes from, is the habitat that we balance every hunting season. This isn't just a Ted Nugent conservation celebration moment. I'm celebrating a conservation lifestyle. And I never forget Sammy Hagar. By the way, if you get to go see Sammy Hagar and Joe Satriani and Jason and Michael Anthony, the Best of All Worlds tour, some great music out there. Styx is out there. Journey, REO Speedwagon is out there. They're rocking their flame-throwing balls off. It's a great time to be alive. But ultimately, I haven't toured 40 years during the hunting season, because to play hardcore, energized, fire-breathing soul music and rhythm and blues, rock and roll, you have to cleanse your soul. And if it's not too late, I don't care how old you are, who you are, or where you live, find a graceful bow and arrow. Set up a box full of newspapers in your living room and discover how Mr. Left Hand and Mr. Right Hand can work with Mr. Hand-eye coordination, spirit, brain, heart, soul, and discover the gifts that you already have. And as you apply them to the mystical flight of the arrow, it will improve, enhance, and increase the efficacy of every pursuit you may choose. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of gonzo happiness. So it's only August, but they're hunting caribou in the Northwest Territories, and bear, grizzlies, polar bear. My buddy just got a polar bear up in Canada, but you're not even allowed to bring the skin back. But the natives up there know that you have to kill some polar bear. You have to balance the polar bear herd. And they're not on an ice floe, drifting off to their death because of global warming. What the, Al Gore, you lying little scum dog. So I know I'm going on all kinds of tangents because that's my specialty. My name is Ted Tangent Nugent. Because God gave us another day. What are you going to do with it? I'm going to fill feeders. I have a squadron of songbirds on every acre of my ground because I feed the songbirds every day. It will cleanse your soul. And then you can pick up a guitar. It's not too late. Maybe the next segment I'm going to promote how you can pick up a guitar late in life, and all of a sudden, all the ugliness of the world vanishes as you put your heart and soul into expressing your inner being musically. You combine that with the discipline of the mystical flight of the arrow. Think of what it's brought me for 75.7 years. Guitars, archery, hunting, nature. This is the Real America Voice Spirit Campfire. Say yowza.